Hey, welcome everybody to Two Women Talking. I'm Natalie, and along with Sarah, we love to just bring cool topics to the table and have a quick 10-minute discussion or so to make your life simple. So Sarah, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Sarah DeCiccio. I'm a certified holistic health coach and a mom of 2 young kids. And my specialty is gut health. So if you would like to sign up for my free emails for tips and tricks or to learn more about me, just head over to my website at www.findingyourwellspot.com.
Trust me, if you have any health questions, she's my go-to girl. She's brilliant, she's knowledgeable, and if she doesn't have the answer, she'll find it. My name's Natalie Stratton, and you can find everything out about me on my website. I take women to beautiful locations and do the inner game work, creating opportunities, experiential learning, things like that. I do one-on-one coaching, as well as I'm a mom of 3 grown children, so I know a little bit about that game. So without further ado, let's talk about Christmas, Sarah, and what happened when we get around family, because this absolutely intrigues me, this topic. So I'm so glad we're having this discussion. And I know you're listening to a gentleman 3-part series. He's kind of a comedian, but also does personal development. So why don't you just share kind of what's going on in that bright mind of yours?
Well, it was interesting. I was sent the video series. So it's a 5-part video series from Kyle Cease, if anyone has ever heard of him. So he is, like you said, involved in personal development. He does a lot of trainings on that, but he makes it funny because his first job was a comedian. So he uses comedy to teach personal development. So it's kind of a fun way to learn. I really enjoyed him so far up to this point. So I thought, I'll listen to his 5-part series. And it was really good because some of us, whether it's our own family or our in-laws or maybe close friends, some people actually have anxiety around the holidays. They don't really want to spend time with their family, or maybe they do, but they, sometimes things can go a little bit sideways. Maybe there's a bit of conflict. Maybe you're taking things personally. And he basically gives you a survival guide on how to get through the holidays so you're not having that anxiety. So basically he's talking about most of us don't have an intention when we are going to a Christmas gathering. So what is your intention? Or do you have to be right in every conversation? So for me personally, I am a control freak and I like to be right. It's just, I think it's human nature that, we want to be right. We want to be validated, or we want to be noticed, or be, recognized for what we are doing. So sometimes people will be like, well, that's kind of a stupid job you're doing, or don't you want to make more money, or might say something that's insulting to you. Or even for me as a health coach, if somebody says to me, well, that's stupid doing gluten and dairy free, instead of reacting to it, I would probably react to it because of course that's my passion and what I believe in. But you could just look at that person and be like, wow, okay, cool, thanks for that, rather than engaging in the conversation that way, because you're not going to get anywhere because they have their own beliefs and you have your set of beliefs. So he really talks about how you can navigate certain things, and it's hard because we all have an ego. So he teaches you how to tell your ego, basically, take a back seat and just be present with your family. And you have to listen to the video series because, of course, he explains it a whole lot better than what I'm explaining it right now. But it gave me some really great ideas, not even just for Christmas, but for everyday life, because I'm a very sensitive person. I can take things very personally. But a lot of the times when people are saying something, it's really more their shit than it is yours. So if they're projecting on you, well, you should be making more money or doing this, it's really more about them, that they're thinking that about themselves, more so than about you. So they're just projecting, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So does he talk about be wrong?
Yes. Just whatever. Yeah, no, and it's just a different way of looking and thinking about things. There's only a few people that you'll want to engage in conversation with who are open, and you'll know those people who are open to listening to both sides. And I love it too, because he said to just pretend that you're always wrong, which is hard for your ego to hear. Pretend that you're always wrong. And at first I was like, well, that's just stupid because I'm always right. But I don't want to be wrong. I don't want to be looked at as stupid, or that I don't know what I'm talking about, right? But if you just look at okay, everybody has a different set of beliefs, and that you are not your beliefs, because your beliefs are actually always changing. So back in the day, I would say whole wheat bread is the best thing in the world to eat for breakfast. And now I'm like, no, don't eat that, right? So your beliefs and everything do change. So it's just, yeah, pretend that you're always wrong. And if you do that, you'll be open to listening to what they're saying more, and you grow as a person. And that's really ultimately what you want. You want to always be growing and listening to people rather than being stuck where you are, because then you're not really serving people.
Right. So I have in the retreat work I do. So yeah, you're in the judger. When I'm in my ego, I'm in my judger typically. So when I'm in spirit, I don't need to be right. I'm just in love. It's just like, let them be who they are. I may not agree with everything they're saying, but I don't take it personally. It's like, you know, I'm just looking to connect at some level, you know, when I'm in the spirit place. But when I'm in the judgmental ego place, it's like, I'm defended. Pardon me. I'm, you know, less open. I'm, you know, I can sabotage it more easily, the conversation. You know, so many things are happening in that dynamic if you're not aware of that. And I think in women's circles, it happens a lot when there's a little bit of jealousy, or a woman like that has a lot of ego. You know, we do not do well in the pack when a woman comes in that has a lot of ego. She will get knocked down soon. So then when we go to step up to have ego, or to step into our biggerness, women don't like that. So where men, they're all about, woo, you know, look at me, I just conquered, blah, blah, blah. And they blast it all over, where we're like so underinflated ego. It's like, well, I just, you know, finished my master's degree and I've raised 3 children and I run 2 companies. Like, who does that, you know? But just so understated. It's like, how does that work? So yes. Anyways, I think that ego and the spirit, we're talking about the observer and the judger. So
yeah. Absolutely. And if people want to learn more, I'm going to put the link at the bottom of the note, so then people can actually watch the 5-part series. It's really, really short little videos, so it's not like you're watching it for an hour. So if you only have 2 minutes, there's videos that are 2 minutes and some that are 7 minutes long. And yeah, it will give you some great ideas. If you're one of those people that has anxiety about getting through the holidays or being with family or friends, I think it's a really good tool to help you think differently, and just try it differently, because you never know what might come about this time around.
Perfect, Sarah. I love it. And if you know of somebody that is, you know, you may not have that issue, you may really engage and love being around your family, you know, parts of them. I don't know if there's anybody that absolutely, you know, there's always going to be issues when there's family involved, but, you know, send it to them, because let's help them have a better Christmas, whatever that looks like. So there's nothing worse than being around your family and being in your stuff and being anxious and being defended and all those ugly things. So thanks, Sarah. That's awesome. Okay, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.